Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and in this one I'm showing you and sharing with you how I blend a collage tissue paper into my journal page. So this is one from Natalie May Scrapbooking and it's called Alison. I'm cut off some of the excess and I'm going to be adding this into the centre of my page. So I've added some matte medium onto my page and now I am sticking it down. So you'll notice this time I haven't gone in with any colour on the page first, any white, just to make that page, the face, sort of keep its true white colour on the paper, but it doesn't really matter so much. Sometimes I decided I didn't want to do that this time, so this is how they can be so versatile, really. You can use them how you like. So then what I tend to do is I look at the colours that are in the collage paper and I try and match as much as I can and find those colours in my stash of paint, whatever it might be. And then I just start to build the colour out and pull it out from the image that's on my page to blend it out to the edges. So this I think is sand, I'm pretty sure it is. And I'm just adding that colour, pulling that out right to the edges of my page and overlapping with the image that I've just stuck down. I'm also using my finger to kind of blend as well because that just softens. So this is one of Natalie May's stencils. This is called Graffiti Text or Graffiti, maybe just Graffiti. It's brilliant. I love it. I love anything that's got text on it, as you know, and particularly that kind of scripty look. I really like that. So this is great. So here I'm just removing some paint through the stencil and it's going to leave a bit of a pattern behind. So it means that that paint is less opaque and gives it more interest. You're starting to build those layers early on. So then this is also a collage paper from Natalie May. She's got loads on her website. You should go and have a look. Love this one with the little crosses on it. So I'm just sticking that down in a few places. Again, just building out that interest. You can see I've kind of now got that almost going diagonally across my page. I tend to sort of intuitively work with how I feel my page is going to be balanced. So it isn't really something that I can describe how I do, but I just kind of get a feeling with where things need to go. And it's not always right. Sometimes it's wrong and I'll finish a page and think, oh dear. But it doesn't matter because it's in my art journal and it's how we learn, isn't it? It's we learn sometimes by making mistakes. So I gave those a quick dry and then I've just got a bit of paint left on my blending tool. So here I'm just going over some of those pieces of collage and oh no, I lie. I didn't have some left. This is, I'm using some rosy, one of the metallic paints and just kind of smooshing a bit of that on, beg your pardon, not looking properly, just to kind of add a different colour too. So then this is umber. So you can see that kind of quite dark colour on the collage paper. So I'm now starting to just pull that out a little bit as well and bring another dimension to my stenciling. So this is another of Natalie May's stencils. Look, I love doing that technique. So you just add a really thin layer of paint and then you can very easily pop the stencil on while it's still wet and you can remove it through the stencil. And again, you're just building up those layers of interest in your background. It's also a great way to soften the layers that you're adding. This is one of the stencils I've designed called Dots and Dashes. It was designed for funkyfossil.co.uk. Was in my release that I had back in October. You can get these still on my website. So here I wasn't completely going mad. I felt that the paint was too dark and I wanted to just push it away a little bit. So I went in with a baby wipe with the intention of pulling it off, but actually, of course, because it had gone on the craft page, it wouldn't lift off. And actually, I quite liked how it kind of smooshed it around and it did soften it a little bit. So then I'm going in with, so that was fuchsia that I used for that, sorry. Then I'm using magenta and I'm adding some dots. So I'm just adding a little bit of colour onto this page as well, because it started off quite monochromatic. So I'm adding some splatters, which I don't know, I didn't really like, but anyway, went with it anyway. They were very big and not very pleasing, but you know, hey ho. So I might have blotted some off and then gone back in and dried the rest up. Then this is mineral gloss spray, and I'm just adding a few patches of that on there too. So next I'm just adding in the whites of the eyes. This just helps to bring the face back to life again. You can see that does make quite a big difference. And it's something that's definitely worth doing. Then I'm just adding some highlights onto the face as well, using the white pen. So this is a Neo Colour 2, just adding a little bit of blush to the cheeks and blending that out with a water brush. It looks fine once it's dry, honestly. It's a bit scary though when it was wet. And then I am just going straight in with my Posca pen and adding in my text. So I'm adding some at the top left hand corner, and then I'm going to finish off my quote at the bottom right hand corner of my page, so it kind of goes in the opposite diagonal to the way that my painting image went across my page, and then that just brings the balance there too. And that's one of the great things with acrylic Posca pens, is that if you make a mistake while it's still wet, you can just rub it away, adding punctuation where it wasn't needed. So because it wasn't dry, I could get rid of it. And my pen was running out as well, I think. So I grabbed a new one. Then I'm just adding some bolder lines to some parts of those letters, just to pull those out a little bit. And finally, just going in with some white paint and adding some little splatters onto the page too. Who doesn't love a few splatters on a journal page? I think sometimes it just kind of finishes it off, doesn't it? It just adds that extra element that's sometimes missing. So that is how this page kind of unfolded. So that's how I tend to, sorry about the dog, that's how I tend to blend images from collage paper into my journal pages. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I do apologise about all the barking. There must be someone at the door. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon, minus the dog barking.